What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be doing a review on the Klin. No, I'm joking. So today we're going to be doing a brand review of a company called CARTECT, which is a Korean company supplied by XL Detailing Supplies here in the UK. But first, I'll put the kettle on. Welcome back to Hotchkiss Performance. Okay, so as I said previously, CARTECT is a Korean company and Nick at XL Detailing Supplies imports them over here so you can get your hands on them. I will leave a link in the description below to his website. So, we'll just talk about the style of the overall brand. Extremely simple. Simple bottle design. You know, you've got the name of the product, in this case Balanced Wash, which is their shampoo. All clear bottles so you can see the colour of the product. You've got usage instructions on the back if you can read Korean. In this case I can't, so if you're in the similar position, then go over to XL Detailing Supplies website and the usage instructions are on there. They look good on the shelf. You know, if that's your thing, if you like to show off your products, display, whether that's in the back of your van or on a shelf. And also the ones that require triggers, these are solid triggers, really fine, atomize, you know, when you're spraying the product, so that's a bonus there. But yeah, I do think the products look good. That's pretty much it for the style of it. There's not really much else to say. It's basic, it's simple, which I prefer anyway to a fancy bottle. Not mentioning any names in particular. So price wise, you have got the entire range is around £10.95 for 500 millilitres. In the case of the shampoo, it's £9.95. I would say about pretty much the same as other sort of brands at that kind of volume of product. You can get some of the range in 4 litres. I'm not sure if you can get it all. I will have to check that. Just head over to XL Detailing Supplies to find out. But yeah, 4 litres or 500 millilitres depending on your preference. So we will start with Balanced Foam. pH balanced. Perfect name if you ask me. I know a lot of this pH neutral is flying around at the moment. But balanced is a more accurate terminology for this sort of product. So Balanced Foam. You mix it around 10 to 1 or 20 to 1. That in English is about an inch in the bottom of your lens. You know, fill the bottle up to about 100 ml and top it up to a litre. You know, basic science really. And that'll do you. Now, I wasn't expecting much from this, I must admit, because it's a pH balanced snow foam, and in my experience they're only really good for sort of summer dust, you know, that fine layer of dust that you get on the car. They don't really tend to lift much dirt, if any, I would say. Not that I've come across anyway, I've used quite a few. So I was thinking, well, I'll give it a shot just to see what it's like. I tend to use alkaline based snow foams or citrus cleaners, citrus pre-washers, because they just seem to, you know, surpass any snow foam that I've used in the past. But this was a shocker. Mighty impressed with this. Now, obviously, I did it about 10 to 1. Mix the product in the bottle, and normally with other snow foams I'll have the lance on full whack, so basically the most amount of product coming out of the lance bottle. You know, that gives you a good, when mixed correctly on the other brands, it's usually around it's okay to have the lance on full whack. Sometimes I might do half a turn back or perhaps a full turn, and that'll be perfect for the thickness of foam that I want, because I do like it pretty thin, because you want it to run off. You don't want it just sitting on the car and not pulling the dirt off. It's pointless if it's just sat there. So what I did, full whack and half turn back. And what I found was, it basically stuck to the car like shaving cream and didn't even fall off in the slightest. Now you might think that's a bad thing, but that said to me that this product is extremely concentrated, even at the 10:1 dilution in the lance, because it just stuck to the car and didn't move, and I was thinking, okay, we'll turn it down a bit. So I did one turn back from full. Same again, didn't move. I'm thinking, okay, I'll do more than I normally do at this point. So I turned the lance another turn back, still too thick. It was just clinging, like really thick foam, which is pointless really. You don't need foam thick. I know it looks flashy, I know it looks cool, it's good for your Instagram accounts and your likes, but doesn't really give you the most amount of cleaning power, and that's what it's for. And you're also using excessive product, because it's only the first, initial layer of foam on the panel that's in contact with the panel that's going to do anything to the dirt, because the other 3" that's sticking out this way is doing nothing but falling off. Basically, in the end, I reckon I did about 3 or 4 turns back, pretty much all the way out, and it was just about right. And even then, it was still thick, and it clung for ages. It's absolutely red hot outside at the moment. I'd say around 17, 18 degrees. And it just dwelled for so long. It run off, nice consistency. Didn't dry out at all. I left it a good, I would say, 20 minutes. Didn't dry out, didn't leave any water spots. This mighty impressed me. Just a brilliant foam, and I did actually see the foam dripping off and the dirt in the foam on the floor, so it was lifting off. So absolute winner, balanced foam, can't recommend it enough. Because what I actually did was, and credit to Brian Woods from Detailing World, who came up with this method on his Bilt Hamber Auto Foam review, which is another snow foam. His idea is you swab an area of the car with a soft makeup pad to see how much dirt is on the car before. You do your snow foam routine, rinse off, and then go over with another clean, damp makeup pad and see how much dirt is lifted off. Compare the pads and you'll see which is how much less dirt is on the pad after the snow foam. So I did that, and the after pad had no dirt traces whatsoever. And to prove to you that I'm not bullshitting you, I did it around 3 times, recorded it to show you that the pad picked up no dirt whatsoever on the sill of the car, which is generally the dirtiest area. So if you ask me, that's a touchless wash. I hadn't contact washed it at this point. This was purely the foam. There's nothing else to say. It cleans well, it's concentrated, it gives you a nice consistency of foam, depending on if you like it super thick. On the rear of the car, I'll just show you a clip of that. I just blasted it at full whack to show you the level of thickness you can achieve with this foam. So absolutely spot on. So, my initial thoughts on the brand, just off the foam alone, are, we're winning so far. So balanced foam, definitely a thumbs up and definitely a recommendation. just another quick thing I'd like to mention. Because you're turning this further out, you're using less product from the bottle. So I was messing about for the video and putting more on than I needed to and getting the consistency right and faffing about. And I used 300 millilitres. I would say if you're just doing it straight off and doing it as efficiently as possible, you're going to be using like 200 ml of this product to cover the car in a nice thick rich foam, but is thin in consistency to run off. You're using nothing, so that's another winner. It's just so highly concentrated that you're getting your money's worth. You know, you're not just using tons of foam to get the cleaning power. So that's just another quick mention on the balance foam. Next up we have balance wash. Again, pH balanced shampoo. Does not remove wax or sealants as it says on the bottle. Dilution ratio 1:400 to 1:600 max. Nick at XL Detailing Supplies told me to put 2 caps in. So I put in 3 because why not? You know, I just like a lot of foam and suds when I'm washing the car. Some people don't, some people do. You can obviously alter that depending on your preference. Hasn't really got a scent. It's sort of a chemically smell, but not too harsh on the nose. It's actually quite pleasant, you know, because a lot of them have a fruity smell or a sweet smell, which I do like, as well as just no scent. But it's almost like it doesn't need one. It just does the job it's designed to do, and that's pretty much it. Foamed up lovely, absolutely, which I'll show you on the car. Foamed up in the bucket. The suds from the bucket to the car were spot on. Really slick under the mitt, and I tried to demonstrate that by showing just with one finger how I moved the mitt around the car when I was washing it. So super slick, so you know the lubrication properties are there, which is what you want in a shampoo. So it basically just does everything that you could need from a car wash shampoo. Can't fault it, and another great product. So that sums up balance wash. Next up we have rust and iron remover, fallout remover. As you can see, I've used it all up because I love it that much. It's different in the sense of it doesn't light up like a Christmas tree. It doesn't bleed profusely. Did I say that right? It doesn't react and light up, you know, make your wheels or your paintwork look amazing. But it works. I did notice the contamination lifting off and rinsing off freely when I was, you know, rinsing this off. I will show you a 50-50 actually of a roof that was particularly bad on a car that I was doing. Sprayed it all over. Bearing in mind the car was wet. I didn't bother drying it because I thought I'll put it to the test. Car was wet, so the product was diluted down slightly from the surface water, and it reacted with the iron. It was a very light sort of pinky colour, not really deep purpley red like a lot, but it still, after going over with a pressure washer, removed the fallout, which is what you want it to do. I'm not really bothered if it reacts as long as it removes the contamination, which is the important part. And this just works. You know, there's nothing much really to say about a fallout remover. You want it to work, you want it to cling, because it's not particularly, I mean, it's hard to show you now because the bottle's empty. It's not particularly gel-like, so it does spread quite a far way. But it's not that thin that it just dries out instantly. Again, when I used this was quite a hot day. Didn't dry out. So, fallout remover, another great product. You know, because I'm testing these and thinking, would I purchase again? You know, what is it offering me compared to other brands? Is it doing better? Is it doing worse? If I thought it was shit, I'd tell you it's shit. But my honest opinion so far on everything that we've gone through is I'm pretty impressed. And it takes a lot to impress me because I've stuck with a lot of brands, you know, pretty early on and tend to not really waver away from them because there's that many brands out there now. You know, we'll get more into that later in the video. But yeah, fallout remover, another really good product, and we'll move on to one of my favourites. Water repellent coating, spray sealing, in other words, a wet coat product. Other than go and buy it, I don't know how else I can recommend it to you. Don't use much, I've used this quite a bit now, and I use this on a unprotected car, and it gives the car protection. You could see it was so much easier to dry the car because there was less surface water. You know, rinsed off really nice. And what I like about this compared to this, I found that to leave water spots. Now maybe I'm using too much, you could say I am, but I tend to be quite conservative with the products because I know that people do tend to overuse them. So I'm a bit more scarce with how much product I use, and I still found I was getting a few water spots with that. Might be because the trigger's not brilliant, so it can sometimes splatter large blobs out, which is a concentrated patch that hits the panel and leaves a water spot. Didn't have any such issues with this, which is why I'm going to use this over wet coat. Not saying wet coat's a bad product before all you Geon fanboys jump on me. I do like Geon, they make some really good products. I did like wet coat, was one of my favourite products of theirs. But I've tried something that I prefer and I'll be switching to this. That's just my preference, you might think differently. But did everything I wanted it to do. Again, the triggers on these are pretty good. You know, they fine mist quite good, so you're not using too much product, using just enough and not overusing it. Very good for maintenance washes, these types of products. I love spray sealants anyway because they're just fast, they're efficient, and it's, you know, it's pleasurable to do. I know some people like waxing cars every time, you know, or sealing them, or a lot might have a ceramic coating. But you know, maybe if you're doing this professionally and a lot of the cars you come to have no protection, you're up against a bit of time, you want the car to have some protection, so it leaves, when you leave the car, it's, you know, the water's beating up the next time it rains, and the next time you come to wash it, it'll be easier. It makes it easier to dry, and these are just perfect product for that. And again, I can't fault it. You know, if I could find a particularly bad point to it, I would tell you, but it just works, and it works very good for a spray sealant. So another winner for CARTECT water repellent coating, and it also smells ace, so another bonus. Finally, we have tyre coating wax. Wait a minute, Mr. Go. Finally, we have tyre coating wax. Smells lovely. This one is strawberry. I think you can get it in another scent. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. Before I get into this, this is a matte dressing. It's not shiny. I don't think it is anyway. So if you're not a fan of matte type dressings, then you probably don't need to watch this section unless you want to hear about the product. I'm not a fan of shiny tyres or dressings. I do like a nice, just a clean matte finish or semi satin. and this is definitely on the matte side, I would say. It just gives the tyres a nice, clean, fresh look. What Nick did tell me is just ensure when using this, because he's had a lot of people get in touch and tell him that it's only lasting a day or sometimes even a few hours. The rule, trying to think then, brain. The rule of tyre dressings or dressings of any kind is always make sure that the surface is clean and dry that you are dressing. If the surface is not clean, the product will not bond to that surface, just as if you was applying a ceramic coating. If the surface underneath is dirty, it's not going to bond, same with a wax. How do I clean my tyres? Have done a wheel regime video, but just to recap. Bilt Hamber Surfx HD, neat. You probably don't need to use it neat, but I do. Tyre scrubbing brush. Scrub the hell out of them until the foam is perfectly white. And then when you think they're clean, go over again with the Klin Green Monster. I will rinse the foam off even when it's white. Go over again with the Bilt Hamber Surfx HD. And a Klin Green Monster, you know, sort of in that kind of shape. And just scrub the hell out of it, and I guarantee you, just as you can probably see on this particular cloth, you're going to get black streaks of dirt still off the tyre. Green Monster, essential to anyone's arsenal anyway. Having a review on this on the channel, need to leave a link below to that. Yep, that's how I clean my tyres. So just make sure that your tyres are clean before using this, or you'll find it doesn't last. Clean and dry. At first, I put one coat on, and it didn't last. And I was thinking, maybe people are right. Still lasts longer than a day though. I was probably getting around 3 or 4 days. Which, it's very thin and watery this. It's very, very, very easy to apply, which I do like. Because a lot of the gel type products can be a bit of a, you know, a twat to apply. Anyway, got in touch with Nick, told him it didn't last as long as I was expecting. I was probably expecting a week. You know, to get to the next sort of maintenance wash. Nick then said, try putting 2 coats. So tried 2 coats, did add a bit more gloss as well, which was nice. You know, it lifted it slightly from a matte to a sort of a satin finish. And it did last this time. You know, kept the tyres looking fresh, looking clean. So yeah, it was just a really nice product to use. It goes on wet, so you can see where you've been. You know, it does give sort of a gloss, and you're thinking, oh, it's going to be quite shiny. Then it does dry back, and then it will turn sort of a matte finish. So don't expect when you put it on that it's going to stay like that. It will dry back to a matte finish. You don't use much, which is another bonus. So 2 coats. Make sure your tyres are absolutely spotlessly clean and dry until they're squeaking when you're using the Green Monster. Then you'll know that they're clean. Another product that's great. I can't really say anything bad about it. If you don't like matte dressings, you're not going to like it. I personally do, which is why I like it. You know, we all have his preferences. But yeah, I would say that overall, if we give the overall brand a review, which is what we was going to do, very capable brand. It slots into all of these others, and you know, it stands up to the big players. If you ask me, it's no worse than any other brand. And apart from the foam, the other products, are they better? Not particularly. I'm not saying that this replaces every other brand. I'm going to only buy CARTECT from now on. I do like a range of brands, because a lot of brands do certain products that I'll just never come away from. They work for me perfectly, so there's no reason to sort of change. So CARTECT isn't particularly offering anything new, anything revolutionary, because I know you're going to ask me the question, well, what makes this any better to any other brand? There isn't. You know, if you enjoy shopping at XL Detailing Supplies and getting Klin products, I'd say just try the CARTECT stuff. It's good quality gear. Just like, you know, I use a lot of KKD, Crystal Clean Detail. I use a lot of Car Pro, a bit of Angel Wax. What else I use? Auto Smart. Don't shoot me. Yeah, it's a capable brand, and everything that I've tried, the only thing I haven't tried is a glass cleaner, because I've got a glass cleaner that I'll never go away from, because it's the best glass cleaner ever. So I told Nick that, and he said, okay, fair enough. Tried the rest of the range, found it spot on. Can't really fault it. Not saying it's particularly better than anything else. I would recommend trying it. If there was one product that stood out for me, it would be the foam. Got to say, it was pretty impressive. The water repellent coating, also a winner. And the other stuff, probably on the, it works, but it's not anything amazing. Also, let me know in the comments. I do like reading the comments, always do. You know, that's part of why I do this. Main reason is the community, the people that are behind the screen watching right now. Leave a comment. Do you want to see more reviews? Do you want to see how-to videos? Do you want to see my personal recommendations of products that I use for a particular task? What do you want to see? Because I'm doing this mainly for you watching at home. Want to know what you want to watch? Do you like the shorter videos? Do you like the longer videos? This is probably going to go on for some time. By the time I've finished editing it and putting it together. I know I like to talk. I know I like to talk fast, so hopefully you can understand me. I want to know what you want to see, because then the channel will keep growing. You know, people will liking, sharing the content and enjoying it, and that's all that it's about. Let me know what you want to see. Yeah, so that wraps up the video. Thank you very much for watching. Next video will be, I don't know, so we'll just see, but cheers, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.